my friend complimented this guy's tattoo, and then the other guy came up to him and was like, "Hey, do you want some food? We're having a barbecue." Like,
You invite to a barbecue
just made a
just for
new
something
friend.
that small.
Welcome back to our series on modern communication. Today, we're going to be diving into our first segment on why is conversation so hard. My name's Andy, and I'm here with Ronan. Let's start off with why do you think conversation is so hard?
Conversation is hard because there's so many steps you got to go through, and there is a lot of things, a lot of parts that you want to hit right. You want to be funny, but not too funny. You want to be funny in the right way that they think is cool, or maybe you don't want to talk too much. You want them to talk, and you got to equalize it out. And then it's hard, It's making conversation with random strangers is awkward.
Yeah.
Because it always feels so you're imposing yourself upon them. But when you really think about it, when somebody comes up to you to talk to you, you don't really feel that bad. It's not like I don't hate somebody just because they came up to talk to me.
I definitely think it's easier when someone else is coming up to you because
100%.
you don't feel that awkwardness where all the pressure is built up. Too many times I've been at the gym and someone's just kind of awkwardly waved and been like, "Hey, how many sets do you have left?" What are the first things you kind of have to address when you're going into a conversation is how do you think you're perceived by the other person? What's the impression you're giving on them? First, for your impression, your clothes.
Clothes are one thing. Yeah.
How you look, your
you
body, how you dress, your hair, that's a big thing. And then also just your first sentence or two.
I mean,
in that split second when they see you.
First impressions matter so much. A tenth of a second is all a person needs to judge you on who you are. And the more time they have, even up to 1 second or 2 seconds, studies have shown that they can judge you based on not even just attractiveness alone, but how trustworthy you are, how aggressive do you look, how these different things that you wouldn't think somebody could know about you by just looking at you.
They say don't judge a book by its cover. I think that's really, really hard.
It's instinctual in humans to judge a book by its cover.
It is very instinctual.
Are you going to go to every book in the bookstore and then read a first page? No, it takes too long. You're just going to look at the cover, and if the cover's cool, you might read the first page.
Exactly. So I think when you go up to someone, I think you should just take a second, just consider how you're going to be viewed. If you're wearing a goofy shirt,
you'll be perceived as goofy.
Yeah, you'll be seen as a goofy kind of person. Of course.
Yeah, we know.
But also, it's not just your clothes. It's not just your face, what face you're making or what you say. It's also your body. If you're really hairy, people could perceive you as kind of unhygienic. And that's not always the best impression that you want to make.
I mean, it's true. It's just it depends on the setting. First of all, matters a lot for first impression.
Mm-hmm. One thing you kind of have to watch out for, you don't have to change anything, just be aware of them. But filler words are a big thing.
Filler words destroy your clarity and credibility in a way that is hard to quantify. It's good to pause, but sometimes if you say or too much monotone in your voice, it can really hurt your clarity and your credibility in the people around you. Try to keep that credibility within yourself by pausing if you don't know what to say. Just think about what you're going to say. You can make it work by just pausing, making yourself sound more clear, and it just gives you more confidence.
Filler words can make you seem more human, more appealing to the public.
That is true. Yeah.
So if someone is really, really nervous talking to people, and you go up to them and you're like, "Hey, what's your name? My name's Andy."
It appeals to them because you're basically going to their...
Because you're kind of showing they might be nervous, but you're also a little bit nervous. You don't know exactly what you're going to say yet. If you completely leave out your filler words, it's going to sound really clinical, sounding like an expert. You don't always want to sound like an expert.
Yeah, you sometimes want to sound more human rather than sound like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then there are also those cases public speaking, when you're in a meeting, in a conference, you should be knowing what you're talking about, and you shouldn't be using filler words there. Just some advice we could give you for filler words, using the word using the word
Yep.
You can use the word but,
as, the thing is, you're just saying everyone in the book. You're just saying every filler word. You see, look, he's doing it right now. What I would say, because you're never going to nail it first try, is think about when you're talking more, even with your friends, even with the people you're talking about, your bros, whoever you like. even with your family. And talk to them in a more like way where you pause and then you learn to do it instinctually instead of saying or like I think this would work. Yeah, let's go here tonight. But if you pause, think about what you're gonna say, and then respond, it gives more clarity, confidence, and you sound better.
I also think talking slower is like a really good way to
That's
remove
I was about
filler
to say
words.
that. You know, I was about to say that. That's
And
it's
honestly,
perfect.
I'm thinking about how we started off this segment, and we were talking extremely fast, and that kind of led to the use of more filler
we
words.
both made mistakes in that. I think we were talking too
So
fast.
I'm calling myself out here. I was definitely
no. I was talking too fast.
I was using a lot of filler words. I think you're probably pointing me out, like, "Hey, Andy, like I heard you use those filler
for
words."
sure.
And slowing your speech and not speaking when you don't have anything to say is actually a really like good communication skill for conversations.
Like, for example, my nervous tell is I talk too fast. I want to get over everything quick. I want to say what I do that because I know what I want to say and I want to get it out quick. And I don't want to pause and make it awkward and not get all my information out and then make it sound boring. That for me is my problem, and something I try to work on is slowing my speech so that people can better understand me and not get caught up in what I'm saying too quickly. That it's at the right pace, not too slow, not too fast. You want to be in the middle, Goldilocks level. You don't want to be too quick. And I tend to fall into that habit.
And it's also harder for other people to understand you when you're talking a lot faster.
Yeah, you talk like...
Say I'm at the gym again. We're going to use this situation.
People tend to just go, how many sets you got? And they just miss it. It can add to that more awkwardness where they didn't even hear you the first time because you talked a little too quick, you weren't clear.
Mm-hmm.
Talking to strangers, and especially in the modern day, is way more rare because we're so online now.
For sure.
When you go to McDonald's, do you talk to the worker? Never. I clearly remember going to McDonald's. I got to order at the cashier. I got to tell him my order. But no, now when I go inside, I just type my order in on the big kiosk, and then the order comes to me.
That's a good start for practicing just small talk, good communication skills.
Exactly.
Just going up to the worker there.
I think literally the biggest thing out of anything is not going to places. It's not doing all this extra stuff. It's literally just being conscious of what you're saying in the moment and just doing that in your regular day life. Just be conscious. Don't just be talking, just keep just talking and not thinking about what you're actually saying. Think about what you're saying, how you're saying it, and how your ability to convey that information. And that'll help you in everything.
I mean, we're talking a lot about speaking more, trying to put yourself out there, because that is a big thing. It's like
for sure.
just making the first step. I think one of the strategies that I've heard really works for a lot of people is the 3-2-1 we ball method, where you just count down in your head and you see someone on the street and you're like, man, I really want to talk to them, or like, I really like this guy's tattoo and I really want to tell him that. Then in your head, you just go, come on, you walk up to him, you're like 3-2-1 we ball, and then you just say to them, hey man, I like your tattoo.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that. That's a good strategy. Basically counting down, which forces this like
some kind of
cognitive self-constraint. It's a self-constraint on yourself to basically, hey, wait, I gotta go
and
now.
You're like, oh shoot, I already
started. Yeah. I already started. I gotta go.
Now I have to basically compliment this guy.
And
it always,
for sure.
The funny thing about this is it always ends well. Like it always ends with like the guy, like my friend, he complimented this guy's tattoo, and then like the next few days when he saw him around at like his local pool or something, the other guy came up to him and was like, hey, do you want some food? We're having a barbecue. Like,
you just made a new friend. That small.
And all you have to do is just 3-2-1 we ball, dude.
And it's like even the simplest things can like come back to you. We think there's so much external pressure onto us because like we think we have the spotlight. We think we have the sun directly shining in our face at all times. Everyone's staring at us. We walk into school one day, walking in the hallways. We're wearing not our average shirt. Maybe we're wearing something a little unique. Maybe I'm wearing something like this, and I think people are staring at me. It's all in my head. They're probably looking at their friend across the hall.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't care. I think people
3-2-1 we ball, dude.
3-2-1 we ball. You're putting so much pressure on yourself when people don't care. If like somebody comes up to me to talk to me or say something nice to me, it doesn't hurt my day. It does. I'm not like.
It's like I'm flattered they even said anything.
I'm flattered they talked to me. I feel good that they said something.
Yeah, if you're ever doubting, like, should I go talk to them? Like, the answer is always yes. It's just whether you want to or not. Like,
yeah.
So, I mean, I was about to say this before, but we're talking a lot about talking more to people. But if you're already in this setting where like everybody's talking around you, say you're at like a party, some birthday party, and everybody around you is talking, or you're always like the person in the group. Like if you're going to a trip somewhere, you're the one who's like talking a lot. Being one of the people who don't talk as much definitely gives you an advantage over people who do talk more, because like if you do say something, usually that means what you're saying is like really should be listened to, because you know you only say the few things that you do say.
Yeah, I get what you mean. It's like the lack of words that you say can make the ones you do say more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It garners more attention because you usually don't talk that much. So when you do, people pay attention.
Yeah. So as opposed to like those people that are constantly saying everything that comes to mind, like you're not really gonna care the next thing they say. They're probably gonna say something stupid out of their mouth. There's those people who like take a long time to think about what they're going to say next, and like that, honestly, I listen to those people a lot more than I listen to the people who just talk nonstop.
I would totally agree in that sentiment, where it's like there is a power in saying less rather than more. There is a strength in slowing your speech down, not talking as fast, or saying, because as in modern lingo, we would call that like more aura. You'd gain more aura if you talk less rather than more, because
people notice that.
It's noticeable, because if you're usually quiet and you don't talk that much, but when you do say something, people are immediately like, whoa. He didn't say something in the last 2 minutes. He said something now. There's a sweet spot for sure. There's definitely a sweet
spot. Don't just be that person who just never speaks.
Yeah, don't do that.
You do have to speak. Yeah, there's definitely a sweet spot that you have to reach.
For sure. But let's say, for example, you want to talk to somebody. What's a good first thing to say? What's a conversation starter? For example,
like wanting to go up to somebody and not having anything to say.
Yeah, not having something to say and not be willing to do it. Just go up and talk.
Like get a reason to do the 3-2-1 we ball method.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you don't have anything in your head to say to them, then that method just does not work.
Yeah, you need to have something to say. So I always have something to say, because I've seen it many times before, where somebody would be on a date or something like that, where they're talking to a friend or not, and it's just dead quiet. Nobody's saying a word for like 5 minutes. And I'm genuinely baffled at what I'm looking at.
That's when they always like immediately go to picking up their phone and just.
And I'm telling you right now, that's the one thing I hate. I want people to see this and actually stop going on their phone at a restaurant and talking to the people around them and enjoying the company of others when they're at a place or not. Even if you're at a picnic, a park, a restaurant, any place, put your phone down for 10 seconds. You'll be on it. Trust me. The moment you leave, you'll get back on it. You'll check your text.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Just be with your friends in the moment.
Like this might sound a little corny, but I'm encouraging, hey, let's do a phone sandwich in the middle of the table, because every time I'm like with my friends, I'm at college, right? And I'm at the dining hall. I'm surrounded by my friends. They're all on their phone. And I'm like, hey guys, let's do a phone sandwich. I want to talk about something. Okay, so everybody puts their phones in the middle of the table on top of each other.
I've never heard of this before. What do they do? Stack it like a...
Yeah, they stack their phones on top of each other. And we don't touch them.
They stack it like fireworks?
Until we're done eating, we don't touch those phones, okay? And then once those phones are in the middle, then I'm like, okay, guys, like, we got to talk about something. Like, what are you guys looking forward to? What I want to focus on for conversation starters, a good conversation starter is like kind of awkwardly specific. Like, you don't want to be asking like, hey man, what have you been up to? Like, how are you? Like, they're not really gonna know. They're gonna be like, oh, I'm good, you know, I've just been doing work.
I would always tell this to people. It's way better to say something funny and kind of cringe than say something boring. Say something funny and kind of cringe. People are gonna laugh at it, have a good time.
So if you want to say something, if you want to start a conversation, like don't go for like the typical like, hey man, how are you? How you been? Go for something like, what's like a cool project that you've been working on recently?
That's a great one. What are your goals
Yeah, what are some goals you have this week? Like, what have you been stressed
What you
about?
trying to do?
Yeah. And then also, I know this is really popular, but it's got a lot of different names. I think I've heard Rosebud Thorn the most. There's also like Peak Pit, Banana Split. But all it is just something you're like a highlight of your week, and then like maybe a low point in your week.
And maybe what you're looking forward to.
Something you're looking forward to, something interesting that happened to you.
Yeah.
You know, something unexpected.
Those questions allow you to really get a good conversation with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Especially in a group setting, you can like go around the table and just talk about like all the things about your life.
It allows you to do that, but I would implore you guys to. It's good to be a good talker and a good conversationalist, but the most important thing about it is talking is second. Listening is first.
Listening is always first. We haven't stressed that enough.
Like I have to stress that.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you listen to people more than you talk to them. Always ask them questions.
Mm-hmm.
People love talking about themselves. I love talking about myself. We all do.
I love talking about myself. And
okay, that's not a narcissistic, but it really works. Just asking people questions about what they've been up to really allows them to open up to you, for you guys to connect at a deeper level. And you know what? Connecting at a deeper level, and give some questions that maybe you're sick and tired of all the small talk, and you know this the basic things about them, but you don't know who they are, maybe their morals, what they stand for. And I think the best strategy for this is a hypothetical.
Mm-hmm.
A good hypothetical that I've heard of, that I still use is...
Yeah, so the two options are you could either continue your life normally and like maybe you're not in a good spot, or you could go into this machine, which you were talking about, is like something that simulates your life but just makes you like super happy.
It maximizes your happiness.
But it's like completely fake.
But it's not real. But it feels real completely. Would you do it?
So me personally, I would have chose to enter the machine and just be happy for the rest of my life.
See, the thing is that shows a difference in where I would do the other. I wouldn't go in because I choose
authenticity over happiness.
I choose something more real. But if somebody wants to maximize the happiness in their lives and that is their priority, then they should go in.
Mm-hmm.
That would make the most sense.
That's a good hypothetical.
For example, like the questions of, what would you do for $1 million? Would you rather? It's a classic fun one.
Yeah, so basically what we're trying to say is conversation starters, they're not hard to make, and like as long as you have that 3-2-1 we ball mentality and you have a conversation starter in mind and like you know what you want to talk about, like it's gonna be pretty easy to just go up to anybody and talk to them. One thing we were talking about earlier that I want to kind of go back to is you said listening is a lot more important than speaking.
Yeah.
Being slower with your words is a lot better than being like loud and talking really fast. And I just want to kind of reiterate, a conversation isn't just one person like leading the entire time or one person listening the entire time. Like
really
if you don't have anything to say, you can just like keep asking follow-up questions. And like right now I'm kind of leading the conversation because I'm kind of directing where we're going. Like I just kind of created a tangent. I've kind of just been listening to Ronan this whole time, and like it's a kind of a trade-off. Like a conversation, it can be mostly just one person talking and the other person listening. Like that is definitely a good conversation.
I would argue it should be both.
It definitely should be both though. And like if you're having trouble maintaining a conversation, I think the best way to start improving on that is be the one who's leading the conversation. Don't be the one who's just listening. Okay? Because practice makes perfect, and like if you're the one leading conversation, like the other person might be like bumbling along trying to follow you, but like that's okay. Like then they can start leading if they're having too hard of a time talking to you.
We're both very different in how we came up in our conversation journey and being able to talk to people. And where he's more introverted, I'm more extroverted.
Extroverts have a lot easier time, I think
so too.
Carrying a conversation. And introverts are definitely have like a lot easier time just listening to the extrovert.
Exactly.
My experience, I used to be the quietest person known to mankind, and I would not say a single word like all day basically. And then I would have to like just basically wait for someone to ask me a question before I started talking. And it was really hard for me to get to the point where I could just walk up to somebody and start like any random conversation starter that we've said so far.
What the main thing that we've been trying to say is, no matter who you are, you can always get better.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if you're an extrovert.
We're not experts at this.
Yeah, no matter if you're an
by any
extrovert
means.
or an introvert, you can always improve. I need to get better at listening, asking questions. Sometimes just stop talking and shut up. Well, maybe he sometimes needs to lead the conversation more.
Yeah.
And basically go against what you feel comfortable. Being uncomfortable is a good thing.
Yeah, I will say, like, I'm proud how far I've come.
Yeah.
Like, I used to
He's
not
wildly
speak
different.
at all. So
Yeah.
I kind of used, I'm going to be honest, I kind of used the 3-2-1 we ball method. And I just kind of
It's a good method.
kickstarted. I founded 2 different clubs at my high school. Those 2 clubs, I was the president of them. So I had like a lot of responsibility, like talking to people. And I was like scared out of my mind, dude. I had no idea
Yeah.
what was going on. I was like, oh shoot, I didn't know I had to talk to so many people.
I didn't know I have to do all this. Maybe I didn't know how to get a teacher to like sponsor us to make sure we
Yeah.
get like a
So like we're not
plays.
perfect. We've come a long way.
yeah.
And
For
we
sure.
we know like a couple things, a thing or two for sure, but like by no means are we perfect
For sure not.
at any
And
of
it's-
this.
Your conversation journey that you should really go towards, and putting yourself out there, doing all the things necessary, being uncomfortable, trying new things are all extremely important.
Try new things,
Mhm.
get yourself uncomfortable, slow down, and maybe listen more than you're speaking.
Mhm.
And then the third thing,
Put your phone down more.
just have fun. Yeah, put your phone down.
Put your phone down more.
just
and be
put
in
yourself
person.
out there. Yeah.
Put yourself out there, be in person with somebody, and enjoy their company.
Take time.